All right, so I took a second to set up the first problem that you have. With this shape here, we want to do a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. So I'm already thinking that counterclockwise, I should expect it to end up in this quadrant, quadrant 2. Over here, I filled in the workspace a little bit, just kind of the bare bones that I have 4 points, and I want to figure out where they're headed. So the first thing you're going to do is probably fill in your rule. Since it's a rotation, I know that it's going to be y and then x. Things are spinning around. And then since it's counterclockwise, we're thinking in this direction, I'll change the sign of that value. So that's something we'd walked through yesterday. To find the coordinates, it's always x and then y. So E is located at 1, 1. F is at 5, 2. So I'll fill that in. 5, 2. G is at 4, 4. And H is at 2, 5. So now I've filled in all of my original coordinates. I have my X, Y ordered pairs, and now I need to start applying rules. So I'll switch the color real quick. I'm going to take the opposite of my Y value first. If I look here, my Y value was 1, and I'm going to use the opposite of it. I'm going to change the sign. The next value is just going to be my X. X was 1, so I'll fill in 1. Here, again, I know I'm going to flip them, and one of them is going to change sign. In this first slot, I have the opposite of my Y value. My Y value was 2, so the opposite will be -2. And then my X value, it's not as complicated as it is time-consuming. The opposite of my Y value, -4. And then my X value, 4. The opposite of my Y value, -5. And then my X value, 5. So this rule, you could use your notes. You could use the tips I went through yesterday. Yesterday, I didn't show any 180-degree rotation, so you'll be trying that for the first time on your own today. Make sure you email me if you need help. But the biggest thing you want to do, especially if you had a printer and you were able to print this out, is plot these points and make sure it looks like what you'd expect. If we're doing a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation, does this work? E prime's at -1, 1, so I'll put a point there. F prime would be at -2, 5. G prime at -4, 4. And H prime at -5, 2. If you're using a worksheet, if you're able to print it out, I hope you use a ruler, make this nice and neat. You can take some time and make sure that you label these as H prime. It's a little tricky on my computer screen, but that does look like I turned it 90 degrees counterclockwise. All of the side lengths are the same, the angles look the same, so I'm confident that I got it right.